I have attended a violence prevention therapy program for about 2 years, voluntarily. And I've also been part of a program that really talks about creating emotional safety for a long time. And it only had just occurred to me as I'm still going through phases of this program, which I'm not even supposed to be in these later phases. I'm just literally skipping ahead so that I can figure out what's next so that I can prepare for it later for my own benefit. And it had just occurred to me that the whole subject of creating safety does not mean that you have to follow a specific formula in order to create safety. Because throughout the entire journey of me being a part of this program that I'm a part of, it made me feel like, in the paradox of learning, that if I had to learn how to create safety, create a safe environment, it meant that somehow I wasn't letting people feel safe around me, that somehow there was something wrong with me. And it made me feel so miserable for so many years that there must be something wrong with me, that I'm not creating safety. And of course, if I believe that, then perhaps, maybe, this is part of the reason why it was so hard to kind of create safety in a certain specific environment with very certain specific people. But then I reflected on certain experiences I've had with people where it didn't really matter and I didn't really care, such as in one of my businesses where I teach people life skills, and in my own family circle. Why is it that I feel safe around certain family members and my customers? Or more like along the lines of, why is it that my customers feel safe around me and my family tends to, for the most part, feel safe around me? And I asked myself this one question that shifted everything I know about the creation of safety. What is the opposite of safety? The opposite of safety means to threaten. And so what safety actually means is the absence of threat. This is what the creation of feeling emotionally safe means. And when I reflected on this, I felt kind of betrayed in my own programs. Like, every single day, it's like reading the Bible. You could read a scripture 1,000 times and you still won't learn the thing, or you'll learn something different, or you'll learn something new every time you read the Bible, right? Every time you read the Bible, there's always something new to learn. That's incredible. In a book, your favorite book, even in your own fiction book, you keep reading your favorite literature over and over again, you're gonna learn something new, guaranteed. But it's just the point that safety means the absence of threat. I have never heard anyone ever say this. I have never heard anyone say that safety means the absence of threat. I've never heard anyone say that. I've only just figured this out. So there was nothing wrong with me the whole time. And if in situations where safety was being challenged, it was simply because I didn't realize safety was being challenged because there were threats. And I wasn't really sure what that even meant, you know? Now that I think about it, it's like, well, what am I threatening with this person with? And it doesn't have to be explicit, it could be implicit, such as feeling needy or emotionally unstable. There's a very unexpected amount of thunder outside. That's crazy. And so now I'm just moving forward with my own programs and my own courses that I've been a part of for a long time. And I'm just looking at what safety means in a whole new light and realizing that there is nothing wrong with me. And likewise, if you have found value in this, in that if you want someone else to feel safe with you and trust you, there are definitely some techniques that I've learned recently to help create that. I've been told some incredible things I've never heard anywhere else that help me validate my own self-worth and in my creation of safety. Here's another important point. Creating safety, it's not a direct thing that you can actually do. It's something that already happens. It's a side effect. Creating safety and letting someone feel safe is a prerequisite. It's a side effect. Let's say you run your own business and you have customers coming to you. Your customers would generally feel safe and trust you already before even interacting with your business. This is super important for your relationship, by the way. And so no matter what you do, you cannot force someone to feel safe with you. No matter what you do, you cannot impose safety on another person. It is a state of being and a position in which must already exist before anything else can continue. And what does this safety mean? Creating safety? It means, as a side effect, safety is a side effect that by default, you are not posing a threat. And here's another tip if you want to create safety. Be empathetic and put yourself in the other person's shoes. Listen to them deeply and let that person go about doing whatever it is that they desire without imposing yourself. I made this mistake once where I tried to make someone I cared about deeply. I made a unilateral decision to make that person my girlfriend, unilaterally. It was a bit like caveman, club on the head style, you're my girlfriend now. I made a huge mistake when I did that. And it taught me a lot of lessons. Thankfully, that version of me was rejected. But it taught me so many lessons that providing safety and trust to someone is not sufficient alone to let someone want to be in a relationship with you. Those things, creating safety, the absence of threat, is simply the prerequisite to entering into and being in a relationship. So if anyone that you know is feeling unsafe and uncomfortable with you, ask yourself, what am I doing that is causing the other person or an aspect with the other person to feel threatened? Because if you are threatening someone, even if it's inexplicitly, that could be cause enough for someone to pull back and away. For example, your privacy. Do you live in a share house? Do you have curtains or a bedroom of your own, or do you sleep outright in the middle on the couch in the living room? If you want privacy but you can't get it, your privacy is threatened. And so having your privacy threatened is enough to push you out to seeking somewhere where you can get the privacy, even if it means sacrificing some other aspect, such as spending more money. Your independence. Is your independence threatened? Are you threatening someone else's independence? Long story short, I just wanted to make this video because learning that safety, the opposite of safety, is to threaten, it just blew me away. And this is what it means during the most difficult moments, the most difficult, pressing, challenging things where your beliefs are challenged. You as a person, your value is challenged. During these moments, it is so crucial that you remain emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent and in tune with what's actually happening. You raise your levels of awareness. You keep zooming out to different layers, to different levels. Your subconscious will provide so much more answers than you could probably fathom even right now. And rather than getting lost in the heat of the moment, you're able to provide stability and calmness and relaxation during intense moments where you're not really threatened. And this enables you to listen and understand where the other person's coming from and not threaten them when they're confronting you with hot issues. And this is an extremely valuable trait to have, to possess. And if you can embody this, this is great. The only challenge is this may not be sufficient to enter into and be in a relationship for the long term. It is great as the side effect, it will provide the safety, but to have that sexually exclusive relationship that you might be seeking and that love might not be sufficient.